President Biden met with world leaders at the G20 summit in Indonesia today to discuss solutions to a number of topics, from soaring inflation and hunger to the threat of a global recession. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes is joining us now from Bali. So listen, Nancy, before we get into some of the topics discussed today, President Biden, he is skipping the gala dinner tonight. What do we know about that?
That's right. This is usually sort of a central event where all the leaders can mingle, but we got word at the last minute that the president actually wasn't going to be going to the dinner, that he was heading home straight to his hotel after a long day of meetings. We got a statement from a White House official who said nothing serious. They said the president doesn't have COVID, even though he mentioned in a press conference 24 hours earlier that he was a little bit sick. They said he just had a lot of work to do, had some domestic U.S. Issues that he wanted to focus on, and so he was going to turn in, but that he'd be back at it in the morning with a series of events, including a meeting with the Indonesian Prime Minister, because they're the hosts of the G20 summit this year. There's a tree planting, and he's also set to meet with the new UK Prime Minister for the first time.
They got my priorities. See, I would never skip a free meal. So I was
you're
concerned. Because I'm a journalist. That's how you get us to pay attention.
That's how you eat.
Feed us.
You get free food. Nancy knows what I'm talking about. So today's meetings were dominated by discussion around Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Nancy, what did you hear?
Well, the leaders were given a speech by the Ukrainian Prime Minister, Vladimir Zelensky, who really spoke very forcefully about the fact that he believes that his country's retaking of territory in and around the city of Kherson from the Russians is really a turning point in this war. He compared it, you guys, to D-Day and the U.S. armed forces taking the beaches at Normandy, and that being the turning point in World War II. And he was basically imploring these leaders of the world's 20 largest economies not to try to force him to the bargaining table now with the Russians, but to allow him to continue prosecuting this war, to give him the weapons that he needs to continue fighting this war, because he thinks that the Ukrainians can make more headway, gains that they worry they would not be able to secure if they were in negotiations with a powerful country like Russia. So that was kind of the backdrop of conversations that took place today. A very interesting conversation that is taking place here among these leaders is the communique, the traditional statement that gets released by these types of summits every time. It's traditional, and usually it is not a focus of a lot of conflict. They just kind of figure out what do we all agree to, and then they put that out in a tidy statement. In this case, as you can imagine, not every country in the G20 supports Ukraine and has condemned Russia. First of all, Russia is a member of the G20, so they certainly don't support that. But then you've got China, you've got India, you've got Indonesia, you've got Saudi Arabia, all countries that have been reluctant for various reasons, mostly economic, to speak out against Russia. And yet, we're told that a communique is still coming together that is going to say that most of the G20 countries condemn Russia's actions, and it is going to be signed by all 20 of the G20 nations, which would be really striking because, again, Russia is one of those countries. So we're going to be watching over the next 12 hours or so to see how this all comes together.
Yeah,
should be interesting.
Yeah, that should be interesting, the wording used on that communique. But in the meantime, you actually sat down and spoke with U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. You spoke about a number of different topics, but one of the things that you covered was the global shortage of diesel fuel, which may seem like a sort of a dry topic, but it could have a real serious impact on our ability to tamp down inflation in this country. I want to play some of what she said.
Mm-hmm. At this point, do you believe that the U.S. will have enough diesel fuel to make it through the winter?
Well, hopefully, I believe there will be, but the East Coast really faces some shortages and low inventories. So we're keeping a close eye and monitoring that.
Nancy, it almost feels like she was sort of crossing her fingers underneath, like, hopefully. You know, what's your take on what she said?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think it's a serious concern, and I think she did not want to say that she's confident that we'll have all the diesel fuel we need when she doesn't know that for sure. We are at historically low levels of diesel fuel storage in this country. She pointed out the fact that we have some serious barriers to refinement in this country, so it's hard for us to produce more in time, and obviously this has a big impact on the cost of diesel fuel when it is scarce. And already diesel fuel has not come down in price nearly as much as regular gasoline. So the concern is that it could start to go back up. And because diesel is used so heavily in transporting goods, in long-haul trucking, by trains in this country, by the rail system, there are great concerns that this could lead to greater inflation. It could lead to at least a temporary hike in the cost of goods if the cost of diesel itself does go up again throughout the winter.
Really important conversation. Nancy Cordes, we thank you.
You're welcome.